Hey, welcome to Jokers Doubling Down, everybody. I'm Martin.
I'm Jake.
I'm Jack.
All right, today we're going to talk about, I guess, a hot button issue because we've been arguing about what we're going to talk about today anyway. But we're going to talk about dealer pet peeves, things that players do that kind of annoy dealers. We might even get on the subject of player psychology of maybe why they do certain things. So I guess we'll start it off by breaking it down. Player pet peeves on blackjack. Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Or dealer pet peeves. I'm sorry.
Dealer pet peeves.
I misspoke.
On blackjack, my biggest thing about blackjack is players upsetting each other over things. About,
How they play their own money.
how
they think they
the
should.
other players play, what spot they have,
Right.
things like that.
Trying to force them out. My biggest thing when I'm dealing blackjack is when they're trying to force players out of a hand because they want to trick the shoe or whatever, like throw it off to where they think the shuffle will be in their favor if somebody sits out of hand or if they play two hands this one time.
Yes.
That kind of annoys me a little bit.
I don't mind that they do it. It's when they involve other people into it. So
That's exactly right.
if you have a superstition that just involves you, then that's fine. But it's when you start taking it out on other people when they don't follow your superstition or what you think is a common superstition, just because they might be a new player or they just don't go along with that, and you get upset about that and take it out on them. Then yes, that is the most annoying thing for me about players on blackjack for sure.
Yeah, that can be annoying. Jack?
Yeah. Well, I'll just kind of piggyback on what you were saying, just like how play the way you want to play. I mean, I don't like it like you said when other players try to influence what you're doing at the table. He said too, I don't mind you switch from two hands to one, but there are plenty of other blackjack tables. If you don't like what somebody's doing at your table, if you don't like it, there's no reason to bitch and complain about it. Go to another table. Blackjack's the most common game in a casino as far as table games. There's gonna be more open. Go to another table if you don't like it. We don't, we're we get paid for our job. We hear bitches and moaning all day, but that's just one less thing that we don't really need to be hearing about. Just a player complaining about what Joe did next to you. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's here to have fun. I got more on blackjack.
Well, I would say that happens on every game, but it happens 3, 4, 5 times as much on blackjack.
On blackjack, more so because what you do in reality does affect the next cards coming out.
It affects that hand, or it could affect that hand
and future hands.
But it doesn't. I just want to clear. It does not affect your odds. So
it doesn't affect the odds.
It does not affect the odds. So if somebody's playing a certain way, it does not make you more or less likely to win any hand. And that has been computer modeled.
Sure.
Hundreds of thousands of times.
But then you also got to factor in the superstition part of it though too, to where everybody has superstitions, whether they say they do or don't. Everybody does.
You're going to say, I get superstition? I don't think you, of all people, really do get superstition. I think you scoff at it on a daily basis.
I do.
That's where we're
You're like, no, there's no magic in the world. It's all computer, cut and dry.
Absolutely.
There's no luck.
And you're the type
you don't believe in magic.
You're the type of person at the table where if you're a blackjack and somebody behind you hits their 16 against the dealer's 5, you're just like, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's exactly right. In my opinion,
I react that way not because I think it's going to affect my odds. I react that way because I'm tired of watching people lose.
But what if you have an 11 and they took your 10?
They might. I mean,
right there is what I'm talking about. You're going to be shitty.
There's plenty of 10s. There could be another one right after that.
But you double down. You got a 2.
He's using Rain Man logic. I got to go on this side of the table now.
It's just as likely
Plenty of queens.
it's just as likely that they're going to take the card I didn't want and so it gives me the card that I do want.
It's just as likely, but when it does happen that way,
I understand the
you're
immediate
gonna
reaction.
get upset.
I understand the immediate reaction, and I'm not unsympathetic. But at the same time, quit taking it out on each other.
Right. That is a good point. Quit taking it out on each other because, I mean, everybody should play their own money.
Everybody should play their own money. And for me, I am a much happier gambler and game player in general when I free myself of the superstition. Like, just knowing it could go either way, no matter what anybody else does, and just being okay with the results. I feel like I'm a happier person because of it. You know what I mean?
Again,
like,
how often do you go to a casino?
Instead of being mad at Jack for the next half hour because he took my 10 or he took the dealer's bus card, and just being like, oh, I could have gone either way.
I can't get on board with you on this one because I am the complete opposite. I'm the type of guy that if I'm playing a video game and I'm winning said video game and my son says from the other room, wow, Dad, you're going to win, and I immediately start losing, in my head, I think his words ruined. He should have said nothing. You don't talk in the middle of a no-hitter. You used to pitch, right? You was a baseball pitcher.
I did.
Do you ever mention anything about a no-hitter in the process of a no-hitter?
Well, I was never fortunate enough to even get close enough to a no-hitter.
Okay, he was a shitty pitcher. That's what it is. Well, see, in higher levels,
Yeah.
superstition plays a factor.
Tell me you never put the rally cap on?
I was just going to say the rally cap. It's like
So there's a difference. There's a huge difference in that with sports, effort and morale means something. So, I'll put the rally cap on for my teammates because they're going to go up to the plate in a better state of mind. But in gambling, it don't fucking matter at all. It just doesn't. It's completely random. So the effort that I put into this game, as far as like the amount of emotion I put into the game, has absolutely 0% bearing on how much I'm going to win at all.
There is, however,
and I think
an illusion of team play, though.
Yes.
In all casino games, at least I see it as a dealer. I see there's an illusion there against me, and I'm fine with that.
Absolutely.
So, when you come from that perspective,
and that goes to creating an atmosphere of fun. Whereas being mad at the player across the table because he took the dealer's whatever car they're going to bust on for a half an hour affects people's fun, and that's why that upsets me as an employee.
And that's where I'm just going to kind of go back around. That's why I brought this up, because as a dealer, again, we work off tips. And you get a good player who knows what the hell they're doing, and they're at the table, and they get some dummy next to them or down the table who does something stupid, who messes up the shoe, and that affects their hand or affects my hand, and they get upset. My good tipper gets upset, and they leave my table. That's why it's a pet peeve there. You know what I mean? It doesn't. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's it's all psychological. Like you said, the numbers don't lie, whatever. But as a dealer, that's why it's a pet peeve that they don't play right, because they can affect my money, what I bring home to my family, my kids, everything. That can affect it. So that's why I say play right.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
That's probably a universal pet peeve on every single casino game is play right. Not necessarily play right, but play on the level. Don't try to force someone to bet your way or try to take a shot, as we call it, which is try to cheat, for lack of a better word.
Well, I mean, we could go down a rabbit hole with this.
Oh, yeah, that's why I said, I'm not going to get into that, but I'm just saying.
As far as...
We'll get around to that.
As far as just, play right, you have your...
By the book.
Right. You have your by the book players, and you have your go with your gut players.
That's what we should have... I would. The card. Okay. We should have...
Play right isn't necessarily the right word. Just... play reasonable. Don't do stupid things. I mean, I can't really say it any other way,
Right.
but still, it's
Use
there
common
is
sense.
just use common
I
sense.
think we agree on that statement, but for I think two different reasons. I think one, I want people to play right because like I said, I'm tired of watching people lose money way quicker than they should.
Sure. Well, I am too.
And our big conglomerate of a corporation does not need your money that quickly. I mean, we're gonna get it if you play long enough. But I'd rather people play for a longer period of time, have fun, have a chance to win, actually have a chance to leave with more money than they came with.
Yeah.
And if they play terrible strategy, the odds of that actually being able to happen just get flushed down the toilet.
Sure.
And so that's why I would like to see more people play better and kind of I don't even know how to say it, but like be less attached to the immediate results of what they see on like a basic strategy card.
Okay.
And be able to say, okay, this only makes me more likely to win, not I lost on that one hand. This obviously is crap. This basic strategy card obviously doesn't know what it's talking about.
Well, my joke I always like to say at my table when he's like, what does the book say? I'm like, well, the book says to do this, but a casino wrote that book, right? Just to get them in their heads. I'm kind of evil though. I like to start shit.
The other players will say, "Well, the casino wrote that book anyway, so that's why I don't listen to that shit."
The casino.
Well, that's probably where I got it from. Was I heard a player say, like, you know what? I'm gonna start saying that just for shits and giggles.
Well, and I'll just say that casino did write that book. They wrote that book to make sure nobody could beat the game.
Yeah. Because
speaking of faulty logic, you just I got kind of thinking to say, the players ask the dealer, what should I do here? And then the other guy's like, well, don't ask him. He works for the casino. But in reality, we don't give a crap how much you take. We want to empty that bankroll to you.
Yeah.
I want to all the time as well, depending on if I have an asshole player at the table, I don't really care about, no. But I want to empty that rack to you because the chances that you're going to tip me increase significantly if I give you money. It's not my money. It's not his money. It's not his money. The other dealer down the way, it's not their money. It's the casino's money.
Yeah.
Most of us don't even look at it as money. Honestly,
it's their chips.
Yeah, their chips are
they're just
plastic
or
they're different clay.
Color.
Yeah.
That's all they are. That's why we handle tens of thousands, sometimes even hundreds of $1,000s a night in our hands. We don't give a shit about them.
No.
They're just different colored chips to us. That's all they are. But yeah, like I said, we don't. It's not our money. We're not attached to it. We don't get upset when you win, unless there's a whole player and you're screwing over one of our other good tippers on the table, But regardless, we don't care if you win. We want you to win because, like I said, the chances that you tip us and have a good time and want to come back later, it increases significantly if you do win.
And that brings me to a quick point. We won't get into it, but the biggest pet peeve for every dealer is to pay out huge amounts of money to someone and not get a single dollar in tips. Because we work for tips. It's like, a waitress or bartender. If they make you the best drink or the best burger you've ever had in your life, it comes in a timely fashion, it's warm, they got everything right, and you still stiff them, that's going to be a pet peeve for everybody in the service industry.
True. I'm going to stop you right there, though. You said the biggest pet peeve. No, I can't say.
Well, it's one of the top five. We'll say top five.
Because there's also nuances that go into that part of it. So they don't. Not only do they not tip you, but here comes one of our servers bringing your drink to you, and you tip them another $10 or $25. Meanwhile, the person who's paying you out left and right doesn't get a dime.
That hurts.
That's even more.
That does hurt.
Disturbing.
When you're working your butt off, you're rooting for a player. They're winning. You're paying them money. Yeah, like you said, you see them tip somebody else.
Not only that, but they'll check. Oh yeah, can you check this quarter? Give me nickels, and they give her a nickel. You didn't get a dollar. You didn't get it $1. Like, are you kidding me right now?
Or another one very similar. They tip the other players.
Oh yeah,
but they don't tip.
And I see
that one cracks me up in the worst kind of way.
I'm on several pages on Facebook where they'll talk about how they tip the other players, and I see a lot of back and forth on that about tipping the players and not tipping the dealers. And they try to. A lot of people on there try to. What's the word I'm thinking of?
Justify?
Justify, yeah.
Fuck them.
They justify it every which.
Sorry.
They justify it every which
Excuse
way.
my language.
But there is no justification because I don't give a shit who you are. Dice influence isn't a thing. You know, things like that. But they think that since they threw that,
We'll get into dice influence.
Yeah,
we'll get into that.
But they think because they threw that, but that's where other people tip the players because you know on the blackjack table they're not going to tip other players
No.
unless they got an envy or something off
tipping
of
the shooter.
Right.
That's the one game where the players affect the outcome. They're
Right.
the ones rolling
Yeah.
the dice. Whereas, you know, every other card game, the dealer's doing the
Right.
cards.
But we'll get into
roulette, you know, the dealer's spinning the ball.
Yeah.
So
But-
I do see the perception of that player is affecting
and
the
it's a
outcome.
very bad perception because like I said, the dealer is the one who facilitates the game. We're the one that paid you out in a prompt, reasonable time. We make the payouts correct. We give it to you. We hand it off to you. Yet, just because Bob had a good roll doesn't mean shit. You know what I mean? That's nothing. You can have a good roll and they're going to tip you anything. It's ludicrous to me. It makes absolutely no sense. When the dealer's busting their ass because craps is by far the hardest game in the casino to deal. And some people may disagree with me. That's going to be a very small percentage.
Not just mentally, but physically too.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you have to. I'm 6'5", and I have trouble getting certain bets off that craps table. I got to do the
have-
old man. Ooh!
We have huge tables.
Yeah, and we have
we have
pretty large tables. We won't say how large because we don't want to table envy anybody.
Ours are on the larger side.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of side bets. and
We've
other
been
bets that
told.
are-
We've been told that they're some of the largest. Not to brag.
Well, no, I've been around too. They are the largest I've ever seen. That's
You've
just
been
what I'm
around.
saying.
He's the
Yeah.
largest he's ever seen, and he's seen a lot of tables.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Tables.
Craps tables. Well, let's just get into craps since we got into craps.
Okay,
Sure, why
jump
not?
right into it.
I mean, I think the biggest one is string betting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Correct.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So,
And that's where I was going with. That's what I was kind of
Yeah.
talking about as far as facilitating what we're doing for you.
And for those who don't know what string betting is when you, as a player, you want to make 5 or 6 bets. You start hammering. Let me get the 6. Let me get the 8.
yeah.
Let me get the 9.
Yeah.
And you just
Instead of
on a string instead of just saying, let me get 6, 8, 9,
6, 8,
10.
9.
Yeah.
And the reason that upsets us is right there, as a dealer, when a player says, "Give me a 6," and they put the money out there, so they give me a 6, $48 6. As a dealer, right away, because it's a very fast-paced game, we're going to grab that $50. We're going to give you 2 change, and then we're going to set $48 on a 6. And then you say, "Oh, I want an 8 for $48 as well." Why don't you just tell me at the same damn time and give me $100? You know what I'm saying?
It's the equivalent of being behind someone in line at McDonald's that continues to order everything on the menu. Let me get a 6-piece nugget and a 10-piece nugget. Let me get a double cheeseburger with no pickle. Let me get a double cheeseburger, no cheese.
I would say the equivalent.
Oh no, it's the equivalent to me.
Because there's a lot less work involved pushing buttons and going like that and then waiting and pushing buttons as opposed to
Well, no.
we're going back and forth, left and right.
Well, no, the physical, yes, but I'm saying
talking
mental.
about
If you're
player play beside you, sure.
but mentally, if put yourself in the customer behind the person and the dealer's perspective, that annoyance is about the same level.
But on a table, you can slide in
Yeah.
and place your bet while they're.
It's not a perfect analogy. It was just an
Exactly.
analogy.
Well, it's not equal. I would say it's equal. That's why I say you equal. No, it's not equal.
All right.
But
It's not equal.
No,
But
it's not. It's not. You're wrong. It's not equul. There's others too.
I think the reason why
Peppery.
it's the biggest
Pepper
problem.
Jack today. He's a little spicy.
I think the reason we want to be most cognizant of that is because it not only affects the dealers, you're just giving them extra work, and betting over that table is not fun.
Yeah.
But it also affects just the flow of the game, and the
Yeah.
players also start to feel it too. Where as some things only annoy the dealers, and it's small,
Yeah.
but you can get through it as far as not slowing up the game. But that one in particular, I think, is kind of
That and on the same kind of wavelength as that one, late bets. To me, that's
but
just
even
about,
then, we can book late bets without
we can
selling
book
the game.
but still, like, if
But
it's a hop,
if it's ever a roll,
right, if it's
I
every
think
single roll,
Yeah.
if it's a hop,
You
if
talk about
they
the-
purposely wait until the dice are leaving the center
Yeah.
and going to the player, then they start throwing in 3 or 4 bets.
yeah.
I say, yeah, you're talking to the daytime king and no betting. So
I will no bet
he's gonna-
somebody
he's gonna no
quicker
bet.
than shit.
he's gonna by far out of our
Yep.
daytime dealers, he's gonna no bet anybody
how it's
10-fold
taught.
more than what we are. Well, because I'm not gonna say certain individuals.
That's how I taught. That's how I was taught. Thank you. You know who you were.
Yeah.
Made me the dealer I am.
Well, whereas I'm always gonna take it case by case,
Yeah.
depending on who the player is. If they do it consistently, if there's a good chance that they're gonna tip us, if it's a 2-way bet, there's so.
Now,
many
Jack, you can't sit here and say I do it right off the bat.
I didn't say you do it.
I
right
know,
off the bat.
but
I said you do it more often than
I will not.
almost every other day.
If somebody does it 3-4 times, I might give them, okay, next time it's a no bet if it's not booked.
No, you're not. You're not really that bad about it. But I'm saying,
I don't jump on it, but
I don't.
if it starts to grind me a little bit, then I'm like, okay, look. Because now we're going to get, since you called me out, I'm going to get into my biggest pet peeve on dice. It's not everybody's, but it is mine. It's when they set their bet behind the numbers. I don't know if you can see, move your hand for a second, Jack. You can see how a craps table is. You got your place bet numbers here. This is where the dealer would normally be positioned, and Jack would be where the player is. On craps, every bet needs to go through the cum for us to know whose it is and to book it and everything. But we have players that like to put it back here, yeah,
$12 rate.
right next to my money. Now, if I don't hear them, or if I, like, say I'm doing something with this guy and they say $12 8 or whatever you just said, right? $12 8.
Jesus Christ, you that.
I was talking. You've been on a dice table with me when I'm talking. I can't hear anybody. I'm the megaphone. But anyway, I might think that this is just money I didn't clean up if I didn't hear it. So I see it and I immediately pick it up because it's put behind my money. And I will warn a player until I finally have to no bet them. Like if it's not in the middle, I no bet it. But that's just me. That's my biggest pet peeve. Well, I don't know how much it bugs you.
It bugs me. It bugs me.
It really bugs me.
It's funny how much it bugs you. I literally laugh. I literally will be on stick. He'll be on second base, for instance, and I'll sit over and I'll see him say, "Put it right here to come, sir." I'm like literally holding in my laughter because they do it to me as well.
Yeah.
I don't get as upset, but I'm just like, all right, just try to put right here to come. Otherwise, I might get locked up with my own money right here. You understand, sir?
Any other craps specific?
Craps?
I mean, there's a lot on. There's so many. But some of it are nitpicky.
String betting, late betting.
Anything as a box person, just anything that slows up the game, unnecessary. Like
We talked about this before. Throwing your money in during when the puck is turned on. Not only does that upset the players, but like you just said, the box person, because not only now does the box person got to count that money, the box person's job also is to watch the dice and watch the dealer as well when the dice are moving and whatnot, and they're placing and they're paying out their bets. Now they also got to worry about running down this money that you brought in here, and if it's $2,000 and even hundreds, that's gonna take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
If it's 20s, that's gonna take a lot more time, you know?
Most box people, if you throw in money when the puck says on, they'll bring it in, they'll count it out, but they're still going to have that stick person sending the dice before you get your money, and you won't be able to make any bets out of it anyway.
You are not going to make any bets out of that money regardless.
Not until you get
that does depend on the location. So some casinos
Sure.
can bet out of cash.
Right.
For me, it doesn't annoy me personally, but I know it annoys other players.
It annoys the hell
It's
out
rude.
of me.
It is rude to the other players. I don't think it affects. It's one of those things. It really doesn't affect the box person or the dealers a ton. I mean, we're gonna have to do it anyway eventually.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is
And that's
it is
why-
one of those superstitious things, and I think it is. It's for me. It's rude
Right.
more than anything else.
I'm not as
where
annoyed.
I want to get in on this game, even though everybody else is already. It's like trying to buy into the middle of a blackjack hand.
Yeah.
For me,
I'm not as annoyed as a dealer for that. I'm annoyed for the players.
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly, because
But also, I don't like it though it also affects the other players' perception of us handling that money and doing it when that's part of our job. Regardless if you don't like it or not, we got to get it out of the way. We got to start sending.
Well, we got to get it out of the way. We are in the business of taking bets, so we are going to get them that money.
But just know that no matter what, as soon as the money goes out and it starts going to the box, man, I'm sitting in the dice. You know what I'm saying? We're not waiting on it. You know, we got to do what we got to do to keep the game going.
Yeah. If you get in your money, while the puck is off, we'll definitely cater more to you where we'll get you your money. We'll let you have the time, enough time to get it up.
And whatnot.
Make as many bets as you want. But if you do it in between a roll, we're not waiting. Like we're gonna get it out as quick as possible. Like, fucking pick it up. Let's go. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Don't take an hour picking up all your money. I don't care if it's $2,000, whatever. You put it down. You get it out.
Get it out of the way because you're in everybody else's way.
Right.
And there are some stick people that they don't care if your money's out. They're sending those dice. They're getting that roll going. Yep. So if your hands are in the middle and those dice hit your hands, one of those superstitions you don't believe in, but a lot of times it's going to end up with a 7. If it hits hands or if it hits a stack of money that shouldn't be where it should be, bad numbers come.
We can't judge or make a person throw a dice a certain amount of time.
Okay, it didn't work that time.
A lot of players used to send the dice too, and a lot of players would just literally grab them, throw them.
Yeah.
Whereas other players might school them a little bit, mess with them, set them, whatever the fuck they would do, because of part of my language. But a lot of people will just literally get them and throw them, and you got to be ready for that as a player. So if you're in the middle and buying in mid roll or something, just know that you're taking the chances of missing out on bets and also pissing players off by getting hit with the dice.
Yeah,
and also they hurt.
They do.
Oh, they're not. Yeah, they're not.
They're
not fun,
especially when it's fresh in the day. These corners are very sharp. Yeah. I've been cut a couple times on the knuckles.
Know that when you're a player shooting the dice, when you start aim towards the dealers,
they hurt.
Know that these damn things do have sharp corners, and they can bust a knuckle. I've been hit many times. I've been hit in the face before.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not fun. They hurt sometimes.
I think one more pet peeve on dice, then maybe we can go on to another one, for me would be the players who continuously throw the dice off the table, but they don't want to change how they throw the dice.
Yeah.
Like, we have a couple guys that they'll throw them higher than what they should because standard is stick person's eye level.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, I'm 6'5". We have guys that throw them a good 2 foot over my head. Then they take that high bounce once they hit the table and go immediately off the table.
Yeah.
And we tell them, hey, shorten down the roll, but they do the same thing, and bounce ends up doing the same thing.
That also goes again with our tables, though, too. Whereas our tables are longer and they are bouncier than most.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't know that because you don't play as much. I'm telling you, they are.
No, I do know that they're...
The players don't adjust to it.
I've played at craps at 3 different casinos that aren't ours, and I know that ours are longer than most. Yes. I do know this, but they can adjust their roll.
Exactly.
That's what I am saying. Yes. First few rolls to get used to it, definitely there's gonna be a learning curve. But if you say, okay, if I throw them all the way to the E at 6 foot in the air and they bounce off every time, maybe I need to aim for the C on the table and only throw them 3 foot off.
Well, that comes in, and then you get the players with their superstitions like
changing.
Don't change your roll.
They're trying to change my roll, man. They're trying to change my roll.
Yeah.
Well, we're not trying to change it. We're just trying to keep the game going, man. We don't give a shit how you roll because you're not influencing dice one way or another.
But that conflicts with the superstition that if the dice hit the floor, then a 7's coming. You gotta go home.
And even bigger pet peeve for that than me, is holding that ice too long.
He snorted.
Yeah.
That was great.
I'm trying to move on. But
I get you.
So holding the dice too long. So schooling them 7 times or 8 times.
Yeah, they got to roll it backwards.
I think maybe that might be the number one thing as a box person, because I don't want to change somebody's roll or whatever. I don't want to be the bad guy, right? But also, and I don't even want to like be the bad guy for all the other people. Like, let's say they're 6-7 rolls in, and they've hit a couple points.
Oh God.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
That was you who did it.
Why?
But and then I gotta tell them, hey, just let go of the dice, a little quicker, and then of course they're going to 7 out, right? I hate doing that,
Right.
and I get blamed for it, obviously, because I just did
Yeah.
it.
Oh, they always had that
but-
somebody to blame.
But yeah,
It's always going to be the dealers.
so it's either I tell them, hey, throw the dice quicker, or I don't, and then somebody over here is like, they're taking too long, and then they're getting upset. So just don't do that.
Yeah.
If you want to school them a couple times, that's fine. If you want to set them up at a certain number, set them up at a certain number, that's fine. Don't school them too much, and don't do both. Why would you school them and then set them on a number? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
So
Or schooling
That's
them,
a that's a
setting
question
them,
I want to ask you out
and then
there.
schooling them again.
Yeah.
That makes no
I want to ask you in TV land. You can comment below. Why? Why would you? Yeah. Why would you do 2 superstitions?
yeah.
Why have a troll doll and a lucky rabbit's foot? They're gonna counteract.
So
If anything, it's the rule of 3. If you're gonna school them and then set the dice, you gotta do one other superstition, just for it to work. I'm just saying. That's what the leprechauns tell me.
but yeah, having a 2-3 second ritual before you roll the dice, I don't mind. But when it gets into
20, 30 seconds.
No, I don't
Oh
even
my
mind.
God.
I'll give him more.
In
now.
fact-
I'll give him like
In fact,
don't know, I almost
yeah,
said it.
2, 3, 4 seconds.
5
it's,
or 6
It's
seconds.
actually, I'd prefer that you just chucking them, because if you just chuck them, you might hit the dealer trying to send them to you.
Yeah.
Or, usually
That's the
people,
only reason I don't mind schooling of the dice.
Right.
Because of, like you just said. Yeah,
you
give
take
a
3 or
minute.
4 seconds.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. It usually runs the smoothest when you do that.
And also, who doesn't pick up dice and immediately...
Shake them.
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to
No, that's
playing
totally fine.
playing Sorry and Monopoly. That goes back to the days of old.
Yeah, but when you, when you take way too long to throw the dice, and not even, and every time, it's one thing.
Right.
You got a big roll come in, or you got a lot of money on this roll, and one time you school them an extra couple of times, nobody's gonna say anything. But it's when it's every time or too many times.
Yeah.
Every time we send the dice, we're waiting on you 10.
When it's a
15
pattern.
seconds. When it's a huge pattern.
That's really the thing. If you've noticed the pattern, that is the thing that annoys craps dealers the most. Is when it's a pattern of bad behavior.
Yeah, I mean, we know it was certain,
Or uncouth, but not necessarily bad, but
certain
uncouth behavior.
Individuals come to the table. Certain individuals come to the
Yeah.
table. We know damn well when those dice get to them, we're like,
Yeah, like, hold on, everybody.
Game
It's going to
comes
be
or
a
scratch.
shit
you
show.
want to make any more bets here, bro, for the next minute or so?
Yeah.
Because he will. Well,
Yeah.
I already said he, but it doesn't matter. Most of our players are he anyway. He will take literally over 30 seconds.
Well, we've gone through
Blackjack and
blackjack
craps.
and craps. Yeah, where are we at?
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of superstitions for blackjack cover most games. Or not superstitions. My
Yeah.
fault. Pet peeves cover most games. I mean, are there any other...
Well,
Let's say on a carny game.
Carnival.
We'll
Is there a...
look at the carny games, whereas it has a shuffle machine to where when that light turns green, that is a time that notifies the dealer as well as the players that they are now allowed to look at their
the cards.
hands.
What he means is when we deal out the cards, we're pulling them out of the shuffler. And then the rest of these cards have to shuffle through the machine, and it'll say green light when all the cards come through. And if something goes wrong,
When the last card comes,
Yeah.
yes, a green light will appear.
but if
But-
something goes wrong, you'll get a red light, and then it's a misdeal. Now, if you look at your cards...
Oh my God, aces!
Nuh-uh.
No, it was for example, you dipshit.
I know. But since he looked at the cards and it's a red light,
and it's a
sorry,
red light.
no aces.
He's gonna take my cards away. I'm like, man, I had aces. And depending on what game it is, that's an automatic winner regardless. And I just lost out on that win. Whereas
Yep.
I shouldn't even have known. Because if I would have done what I'm supposed to do and let the dealer tell me that it's okay to look at your hands, and he didn't do that, I would have never known it was aces. So no harm, no foul.
I mean, along the lines of what I talked about blackjack, please learn the game before you come up to the table and lose all your money. Like I said, I can't stand people losing money quicker than they should. I mean, we're all going to come a string of bad luck. But if you're playing the game, these carnival games all have a basic strategy. Usually, they're extremely simple. You just have to memorize, like, this is the threshold that I play at. Like, 3-card poker is like Queen 8-6. If you have, or Queen 10-6. If you have above that, then you play. If you have below that, then you don't play, and that's all you need to know. And so just know that minimum amount about the game before you play, and you're just doing yourself a disservice if you don't.
If you're gonna play something like a carny game that has different types of betting, because blackjack, it's you throw your money before the hand's even dealt, and that's your money, unless you get like a easy bust or whatnot.
That's where I was going with too. As far as a carny game, the minimum bet is never going to be.
It's never the minimum.
It will never be. As far as a blackjack, it can be that minimum. It's that minimum, But a carny game, it's always going to be absolutely 100% more than that minimum.
Yeah.
No matter what carny game it is, because you have to make alternative bets, more raising bets, whatever.
At least
Are most of them
stay in the hand
at least 3 times what the minimum says?
Well,
pretty much.
Basically, on average, I'd say,
yeah, 3-card and.
Well, except 3-card. 3-card could be
I
double.
love suits. Yeah, it could be double.
Yeah, that could be like double, as opposed to every other one's gonna be at least 3
Triple.
times the amount.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, carnival games are not cheap.
No.
And so.
But it's high risk, high reward.
An even bigger reason why you should at least watch a little bit about the game before you come up. Because they are so expensive.
Well, that's more for your enjoyment, too. Because nothing sucks worse than learning a game $200 at a time. I don't enjoy that myself. I don't see how anybody could enjoy that.
Right, I don't,
It just adds to your enjoyment knowing a little bit about the game. We don't mind teaching you.
No, but
as long as we're slower and there's less people on the table or whatever.
I mean, because craps is one of those. I think it attracts first-time players at the most inopportune time.
Does. And well, you know what? I mean, in all fairness, it attracted me too as a first-time player many years ago. I'm not gonna say how many, but and I was so scared and just nervous and very intimidated to go to the table because you have all these other players on the table who know what the hell they're doing, or they look like they know what they're doing, and you go to the table and you see all these bets out there and these numbers, like, I have no idea what the shit any of this means, So you're just gonna sit back and just kind of watch, and even just watching, you won't really know what they're doing. That's when you can kind of ask a friendlier dealer. I'm not gonna say you could have friendly dealers anywhere, but certain casinos definitely have more friendly dealers. What the hell do you mean, not me?
That was a late reaction.
I'm the one who gets just ask this guy. He knows what he's doing. Yes, I'm a nice guy, and I will teach the players for the most part, but it can be aggravating and time-consuming sometimes when I also have bets to place for other people and payouts to make. At the same time, I'm trying to teach.
Read the room.
Bob and Rita, they're newcomers and shit, and then they bring their couple other friends. It's like, Jesus Christ! All right.
Yeah. Read the room. If somebody looks already busy when you walk up, it's probably not the best time
for the most part
to be taught a lesson.
And then at the same time, they're putting their hands down at the table. What does that mean? What does that mean? And the shooter has a dice, and you're cringing. Pull your hand up. Pull your hand up. Pull your freaking hand up. You just want to say that to them. But they're still not understanding because they don't realize how fast-paced of a game it is, and what can happen if you have your hand out there and the dice go down and hit your hand.
It is a really unfortunate thing about craps. We do want to keep that pace of the game because that's when it is the most fun, but it is incredibly intimidating for new players.
Absolutely.
And I wish we could get more. We even have experienced casino players that look at craps and they're like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, all the time. We try to get them to the table. I don't know anything about that game,
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about baccarat. Other than
my only real pet
physically striking the dealers.
Yeah. My only pet peeve when it comes to Baccarat, because everything else kind of makes me giggle, like all their superstitions with bending the cards, that all kind of makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But the only pet peeve I have with Baccarat is you have those players that take an hour and a half to place one bet, and then the second they put their bet down, come on,
Let's go. Yeah.
hurry up. Like, first of all, you're the reason I stopped dealing, because I've waited for the last 10 minutes for you to place your one player bet. And now you're telling me to hurry? No thanks. And I'll tell a player, no, you don't hurry me on my table.
Yeah. I think a common misconception is that the screen is going to tell you anything. That screen's not going to.
Of course, that's a pet peeve for you.
It is for me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you
I
make
wouldn't
it,
say it's pet peeve, but it's
when you
it's
make it-
logic.
That's what your strategy is?
Yeah.
well, I
Yes.
don't even care if you make it your strategy. It's when you take 5 minutes
Forever
to
at the
analyze it.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when you're discussing it amongst the group.
Yeah.
Well, see, up here, it's got this pattern. But down here, it's got...
Yeah.
But see, again, that's
So then
one of those things.
Which one do you play then?
It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Because which one exactly? Which one are you following? Well, yeah, I see that pattern, but I can make up any pattern and
What
see it if I talk myself into
When
it.
in reality, if people really thought about the reasoning why the casinos paid money to get those signs,
Yeah.
paid for electricity to use those signs and have it lit up at all times, do you think, yes or no, that they are profiting more off of those signs? They're freaking profiting.
Oh, I
on
think
them.
they are.
That's why they use them.
I think they are.
They have made much more money, especially on roulette. That roulette sign,
that roulette
they
sign.
have only made that much more money by putting it up there.
Yeah.
You're not going to find any kind of pattern or any kind of rhythm or nothing. Individual spin and all individual hand.
Well,
they're all individual. They have no outcome.
With roulette, I will push back a little bit on that. Again, I don't deal roulette. I said this last episode, I think. But I have heard of certain roulette dealers that know how to drop the ball in specific quadrants, or that for whatever reason they have a habit of dropping them in specific quadrants. And if you can read that and you know the layout of the wheel, you might be able to...
Quadrants, yeah, but the numbers aren't numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, I know, but you have to
you're
know the
gonna
layout
have-
of the wheel. That's what I'm saying. You have to know the layout of the wheel.
It's still not.
I
gonna be
don't.
very,
I don't think that's a thing
That's
anymore
not-
on a modern wheel.
That's
Now,
really not.
We
Not like what
if
you're
you watch
saying.
if you watch our balls drop. If you watch the ball drop on roulette and our wheels, they go around, like they get hit the frets and still go around 3 times. Like there's no hitting a quadrant on those modern wheels, like the old wheels. So, yeah, thanks, Martin. Yeah.
When did your balls
Say,
drop?
Yeah.
Comment below.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first had
You
your
can
balls
spin the
drop?
ball long enough
I can helicopter.
for
I can helicopter for a while,
yeah.
especially the older I get. All right, we're going off the rails.
But-
Are there any other pet peeves from Baccarat?
From Baccarat, no. It's expected to be a slower paced game. I feel like if you don't peel the cards super slow, then that's about the only fun there is on Baccarat.
Say what chance you have of winning if you don't
Yeah.
go slow.
That's
far as,
my
like-
fun though, because you have the people that they'll rub the card or they'll
Yeah.
put it on the number they
Exactly.
want.
They're
They'll-
you gotta blow out those,
Yeah.
blow out those pips and they start to see one too many pips. Blow that motherfucker off so that way it's
it can get a little annoying when the one they do is if they start peeling this corner
and
and then they
switch
flip
another
over
card. Yeah,
and they start peeling this corner.
yeah. But like I said, there's just so little to that game
Yeah.
that if you're not doing that, then let's like
Where's the fun?
we'll just
right.
let's get a coin out and flip it.
Right.
So it really doesn't annoy me.
Like I said, most of those are fun for me.
let people have their fun.
Yeah.
And, it's a slow game, so it's not like slowing up the game is a huge problem on Baccarat. It's already a slow game.
And honestly, I prefer when the players drive on Baccarat, because then it's less likely
Yes.
chance of me dropping 8 decks of cards, bringing them over to the
No.
shuffler. you know you're going to get new cards, and your floor is going to put them in the
Put 'em
shuffler.
in there for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I drop cards, which I don't do often, but we all, drop a shoe of cards now and then. But on Bach, I can keep them on the table.
Yeah.
Then just have to put them to the shuffler again.
Yeah, don't Baccarat's great. Don't be afraid to play it. I think a lot of people are intimidated by it.
Well,
The problem I have with
Just the
Baccarat,
higher minimums.
it's always
The higher
it's-
minimum, but you don't have to know how to play. It's
No,
great.
true.
but
so-
you kind of got to know when one side gets a hit, one side takes a card.
It don't matter though.
It doesn't matter. You're not
Yeah.
doing it exactly, but
If you want to know why
if
you
wanna
lost
know,
or won,
that's what I mean.
then
if you
yeah.
want to know the reason
Yeah,
why,
I guess.
and which
you hit,
we can
yeah,
do
you hit
a
card on that six
a video
or
on
whatever.
Baccarat one of these
Oh, we
days.
will. But
Yeah.
I would say, if you don't know what game to play, then you don't affect your odds by not knowing how to play Baccarat. You just pick banker.
You just got to spend
Same thing goes with
25
roulette.
minimum at
Same
our
thing,
house.
Same thing goes to roulette, but
Yeah.
you get 1/4 of the house edge on Baccarat that you do on roulette. So, and that's the best case scenario. So,
Yeah, but
so
you
I
can
would
play roulette for $10
Yeah,
versus
I guess.
yeah.
Yeah,
I guess some of us aren't ballers like you, Jacob. Some of us don't make that floor money.
Yeah.
Some of us ain't, raking in the dough from the podcast just yet.
Yeah. None of us are.
All that overhead.
No, roulette. Asking for a specific one black, I think is the most annoying thing. Yeah, one black over, and then it comes back in, and we got to
It
stop
comes
the
back
game.
in, especially when it comes back in, right?
Yeah. So you got to call a supervisor over for both of those things. Where if you ask for green over on a hit, then you don't. Now, if you have a ton of winnings in front of you and you start asking for black, that's a totally different thing because you're not going to check them in nearly as quickly. So, so that's one thing, and it just slows up the game too on payouts. And then I would say asking for dollars and then betting them in.
Stacking them. A stack of 20 or
Betting them in 20s at
That's
a time.
a pet peeve on every game
Yeah.
for me. I think.
Right, well,
yeah.
right,
Let me
yes.
get check change.
Because we see that a lot,
Yeah.
like on craps, a lot of players like to use nickels.
Yeah.
And they're stacking up this high on their odds. Like, what the hell
Bacher
is
is
the
the
point of
same.
that?
Bagger, they'll want
They like
check
to see-
change
they like-
50.
It feels like they have more money when
Yeah.
in reality, it's the same to us. Like I said,
Yeah.
they're all just colors. They don't mean shit, but they'll pay you the same. I mean, you're not looking like a big baller by having 100 in white. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to when you could have one black.
I think that
that's
goes on every game.
silly.
Where if you're asking for smaller checks just so you can bet a tower, I think that is a dealer pet peeve on almost every game.
I would say that's a pet peeve, but for a dealer anywhere, universally throughout the whole world,
Yeah.
But roulette in particular, it could be if it gets just out of hand, you got multiple people doing it, then just sweeping the bets in can be precarious because you got to sweep them around the winning bets. If they topple over on it, then that could be a huge mess. But just
Oh, thank God for
how much time it takes to pay all that out
Right.
when you're betting dollars instead of nickels, when you easily could be betting nickels, is just a huge pain. But that's about it for roulette's pretty free flowing game. But just don't bet so many chips. Get nickels.
Yeah.
Unless you're only betting like $2 a spot. I mean, if you're betting dollar amount of chips, to bet dollars. I'm
Right.
not trying to shame anybody about betting dollars. But if you're
if you're betting
20 at a
$10 on every bet,
Yeah.
you don't need $10 in
dollars.
white. You
You
can
need-
use two.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. You're not shaming anybody on that one.
Okay.
You're safe. This time.
Thanks. Any other game specific things?
Game specific? No. I think we covered all the. Because a lot of them are universal.
Like I said,
In
yeah,
one
the
way or
the
another.
carnies are pretty much
it's universal.
as far as what they.
Yeah. Don't buy in with singles, I think is.
Oh God, we're talking about buy-ins. There could be so much. Yeah. We don't want boob money.
What's your guys' record? What's your guys' record on singles? How many singles?
Singles.
Mine's 400. I think I basically have everything.
I haven't had
Not
400.
singles, no.
No. I think I've had almost 100, but not
I
quite.
say
Like,
mine was
80.
mine was like around 80
Yeah.
or so, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, seriously?
And they're not all nice
seriously?
and neat either. Usually they're all crumpled.
No.
When it's ones, they're always
Well,
crumpled
it's
up.
like,
Yeah.
it's like, well, I can say, well, where do you work at? All right, I already know the answer to that one. Things like that, what to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, sweaty money,
no
no matter where it comes from, I don't want it. I don't want to have to deal with it.
And I'm not going to shame anybody's illegal occupations, but if you keep the money with the illegal stuff, it has that smell. So you might not want to waft it onto the table if you're trying to keep a low profile.
Just white dust, just everywhere.
Or
Well, it's usually, I've had
that's when I inhale like I'm shocked. Like, what does that smell like? How dare you? Heavens to Betsy.
Yeah, I don't really know how to wrap this one up.
No, I think we covered. I mean, one of my pet peeves is when people don't know how to leave when they're supposed to.
That's true.
Yeah, so why don't we just roll the dice? It was 7 last time, so
Yeah.
it's 7 out on the dice. I think it's time to go. I'm Martin,
I'm Jack.
Jake,
and we are Jokers Doubling Down. See you next
See
time.
you next time.
thank you guys.